being taking care of yourself, taking care of everything, not depending on anybody but yourself, and then all of a sudden one day it slaps you in the face and you go, oh dear God, what do I do now? And
exactly. The thing is, you don't know what to do. You know, you don't know how to handle it.
And fortunately enough for us, Dr. Peltzer had at Newton, in Newton, he had contacted Rhonda a couple years back, and I said, no, not us. We're not. We don't need it. We don't need help. And then one day, I got a note in the mail, and I filled out this thing, and this lady came to the house, and she said, oh, you know, you might be interested in these things. And one of the things that was on there was it didn't have the MAC program, it had the Cooperative Christian Ministry, and I said, oh, MAC. I said, because we had no insulin for Mark. Mark is a diabetic. He's been a diabetic since he was 3 years old. He's pushing 60. He'll be 60 in a month. And, you know, we had...
Actually, you look quite young and healthy.
Isn't he doing good?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, but...
Of course, I'm not seeing it from that side.
Yeah, there's been a long 56 years with this, 57 almost. But can't shake it. Got to live with it.
Exactly. You want to go ahead? I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt.
That's good. And I had not taken any blood pressure pills in over 2 years, and we were. It was just Mark's job was gone, and I was working part-time, and we had just nothing, no way to pay for anything. And so I called Rhonda, and Rhonda was real skeptical. She said, okay, you know, I'm not going to call you, you're going to have to do all the legwork. I'm not going to help you. If you show up and you have done the legwork and you know, brought your stuff that you need, and we did it, and we came, and now, because of MAC, because of this card that showed up in the mail, and this lady that handed me this, and I have no idea who she is, or where she came from, or where the card came from, but you know, if it had, and you know, sometimes I dream about this, and I think, oh, it had to have been God. God had to have been looking out for us, because, I mean, how else would He have known, or would we have been in touch with so many things? Mark has been able to get insulin. He's been able to get blood pressure pills. I've been able to get blood pressure pills. We've been able to get needles. We've been able to get test strips. We've been able to get his eyes went bad. We've been able to get.
Is all that through our pharmacy?
Yes.
Mark, what line of work were you in?
Cabinet making, cabinet building.
What happened with your job?
It stopped. I mean, all the cabinet industry, just all of a sudden, you know, we were doing a lot of commercial work. And when the commercial died off, we died off. And it was the same everywhere. They did a lot of cabinet shops are doing, for houses, doing the residential work. They died off. I knew a man in downtown Newton who owns the business, and he says, man, we got nothing. We are dead.
How long had you been in the business?
40 years.
And when were you laid off?
February 16th? 13th.
And you lost your health care insurance?
We didn't have it then.
Didn't have it.
We lost.
But we had the money to where we could still buy the medicines.
Okay.
We lost health care when Mark was working for a job at Carolina Caseworks in Claremont, and Mark Huffman, in his infinite wisdom, was continuing to take health care insurance out of Mark's paycheck every month, or every pay period, and was not paying the Blue Cross. And that started in 2005. And in 2006, or at the end of 2005, Mark has to go to the doctor every 6 months for refills.
Yeah.
And when we went to the doctor in December of 2005, we went.
That's when you found out there was no health insurance.
There was no health insurance, but they were still taking the money out. So then in 2006, Mark Huffman, not my husband Mark, but Mark Huffman kept saying, "Oh, I'm going to get things straight. I'm going to get things straight." And then because of what happened, Blue Cross put the nix on us, and for 2 years we were not entitled to buy any kind of health care, regardless of who it was with. Nobody in the state of North Carolina was allowed to insure us for 2 years. We were being penalized because of Mark Huffman for 2 years.
What did you do in those 2 years?
I took no medication. I never went to see Dr. Peltzer. We took Mark to see Dr. Peltzer. Dr. Peltzer blessed us because he gave us insulin for Mark. We still had to buy the needles at, what was it, 20 cents a piece for the needles. We were going around finding places that had their own test strips and testers, so that because theirs was less expensive. We had not gone to try to get them from like Pfizer or wherever. We didn't know about that. About being able to.
Like signing up with CCM and getting them through the...
Yeah, we didn't know anything about that. So until we got into CCM, and Mark almost lost his eyesight, and CCM, Dr. Foster
Yep.
from CCM, retired from Greystone and sent us over to the Dr. Kelty, and Dr. Kelty did LASIK surgery on Mark, and now Mark is capable of driving. He's capable of getting a job.
Don't ever let anybody tell you that LASIK or that laser surgery is easy.
Not easy.
Have you ever stared into the sun for 30 minutes and not be able to blink your eyes or cover your eyes? What a trip that was. But it worked. And how...
Bottom line, it improved things.
Absolutely.
Have you thought about what your situation would be like? I mean, obviously, it'd be a lot more difficult without CCM, but can you explain in terms of without CCM how your life would be?
Without CCM?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my goodness. First of all, I feel certain that that I would not be here, because I was not taking any blood pressure pills, and I had already had a stroke. My father died of myocardial infarction. My mother died of lung cancer. But Mastis, it was, anyway. So I don't think that I would be here.
And certainly his health outcomes would have been certainly different.
We just got his blood work from Dr. Peltzer, because, like I said, he has to go to the... Okay, we just got his blood work, and he's healthier than God. I mean, he is so healthy, it's scary. He really is. He has some issues. He's had a heart attack. He's had quadruple bypass. He had foot ulcer. He's got disability. Social Security disability approved him. We just found that out.
That's good.
Yeah. Because of his legs, because he's not getting enough blood or oxygen, I guess it is, to his lower extremities. So, yeah, we without everything that we have had given, blessed with.